So what do we have here? A local train leaves Vijayawada for Guntur, towards Guntur at 9 a.m. The total distance between the two cities is 60 kilometers. Another express train leaves for Guntur, same direction. So it also has to reach Guntur like the previous train. This express train is starting 10 minutes later. So first train is starting at 9 o'clock. The second train is starting at 9:10. The speed of both the train is 60 kilometers per hour. So 60 kilometers per hour means in 1 hour or in 60 minutes they are traveling 60 kilometers. So 60 kilometers in 60 minutes. So that roughly translates to 1 kilometer per minute. So that is the speed of both the trains. However, the local train has 19 uniformly spaced stops, while the express train has 4 uniformly spaced stops. The trains stop at each stop for 1 minute exactly. So what is the time taken for each of the train to travel 1 kilometer? That is 1 minute. So for these 19 stops of the local train, how many minutes will it take for each stop? 1 minute is spent at each stop. Even for the express train, there are 4 uniformly spaced stops. No, for each of the stops, what is the time taken? 1 minute stop each time is there for both the local train as well as for the express train. The trains stop at each stop for 1 minute, and these stops do not include the destination. Starting or destination is not included in this particular 19 uniformly spaced stops or 4 uniformly spaced stops. At what distance from Guntur, from the destination, will the second train overtake the first train? An important point to note here is overtake. Assume these two trains run on parallel track and no other trains run during this particular time. Okay. Now let's look at. So it is more like, let's say there is a 60 kilometer distance. This is start and this is destination, and this is 60 kilometer distance. If I have to cut it into one, if I place one particular stop in between, there it will be cut into 2 equal parts. Whereas if I place two uniformly spaced stops in between, it will be cut into 3 equal parts. Now the entire journey, 60 kilometers journey for the first train, is having 19 uniformly spaced stops. If it is having 19 uniformly spaced stops, which means it will be cutting the entire journey into 20 parts. If I place 19 sticks in between, there will be 20 parts using 20 parts that the entire journey will be cut into. Similarly, the express train will have 4 uniformly spaced stops. So the entire 60 kilometer will be cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I place 4 uniformly spaced stops, it will be cut into 5 parts. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So entire 60 kilometers will be cut into 5 equal parts. Each part will be 12 kilometer, 12 kilometer, 12 kilometer, 12 kilometer, 12 kilometer. Similarly, the local train has 19 equally spaced stops. So these 19 stops will cut the entire journey 60 kilometers into 20 equal subparts. 20 equal subparts of each 3 kilometers. So this is how the visual will approximately look like. So this is Vijayawada, the starting station. This is Guntur, the ending station. This is the red train that is going, the local train. The local train has 19 equally spaced stops. These 19 equally spaced stops will cut the entire journey into 20 parts, each of 3 kilometers. Similarly, this is the blue train or the express train, which has 4 equally spaced stops, and these 4 equally spaced stops is going to cut the entire 60 kilometers journey into 5 equal parts of 12 kilometers. Okay, so this is the story. Now the train is going to take time to reach the starting from destination. What is the entire time taken by the red train to reach from the starting to ending? They've mentioned that for each kilometer it will take 1 minute. So how many kilometers are there? So the local train, for the journey, how much time will it take? For journey, it has to cover 60 kilometers. Therefore, it will take 60 minutes. And for stoppage, what is the time taken? it is stopping for 19 stops. Therefore, in each stop it will take 1 minute. So 90 minutes. So it will reach there in 79 minutes. Perfect. Now similarly, what about the express train? Express train for the journey part, it is also having the same speed. So it will take the same 60 minutes. However, for the stoppage part, it will stop only for 4 stops. Therefore, it will only take 4 minutes to stop. So totally only 64 minutes it will take. Therefore, if you look at it, when the local train starts at 9 o'clock, it will take 79 minutes. That is 1 hour 19 minutes, and it reaches the destination at 10:19 a.m. Whereas the express train, it starts at 9:10 and it is only taking 64 minutes, which means 1 hour and 4 minutes. So it will reach the destination at 10:14 a.m. So even though this express train started late, it is reaching the destination first. Now somewhere it will end up overtaking. No? Now we need to understand at what point this express train overtook the first train. I can go and manually look at 18 kilometer, where was each of the, I mean, what time did the train, what is the time taken for each of the train to travel 18, 21, 39, 42 kilometers. Either I can take that approach, or I'm going to take a slightly different approach. This approach, the express train is lagging behind the local train by how many minutes? It is lagged behind by 10 minutes. It is starting 10 minutes late. So it has to make up for the 10 minutes delay, right? Now, because of the journey, is there any change in the time taken for the local train or the time taken in the express train? No. The local train also will take 60 minutes to cover this journey without stoppage, and express train also will take the same 60 minutes to cover the entire journey without stoppage. So the journey part is not going to help the express train to overtake the local train. What is going to help, the stoppage part? Because in the stoppage part, the local train is making a lot of stops, whereas the express train is making only very less number of stops. Therefore, the stoppage is where the express train can cover for the last 10 minutes. It has lost 10 minutes, right? It started only 10 minutes late. That can be covered. So now let's completely ignore about the journey part and let's only focus on the stoppage part and see where the catching up process happens. For the first 3 stoppage of the local train, when the express train starts here, it would have started 10 minutes late. It is starting at -10 compared to the first train. But lucky for the express train, the local train is making 3 stops here, which the express train doesn't have to make. So instead of 10 minutes late, it would reach 7 minutes late by the time it reaches somewhere around this point. Here express train is also stopping, local train is also stopping, so the time lost will be for both the trains. So the 10 minutes lag has become only 7 minutes lag and no further. The 3 minutes extra delay that the local train occurs, but the express train does not occur in the first 3 stoppages of the local train, will help in bringing the 10 minutes lag to 7 minutes lag. Similarly, here there is a 3 minutes lag of the local train. Then here we cannot take as a lag because this 4th stoppage of the local train is also a stoppage for the express train. So express train is not gaining any time here. So if you look at it, this first 3 stops, then 5th, 6th, 7th stop, then not 8th stop because 8th stop is also a stop for the local train and the express train. Then 9th, 10th, 11th stop. So let's see what happens when the local train reaches here. When the local train reaches here, it would have stopped for 3 stops, 3 stops and 3 stops extra. These 9 stops would be extra when compared to the express train. There are 3 more stops here, but these 3 stops are also made by the express train. Therefore, the time lost would have been for both the trains. So what is the time lost for the local train by the time it reaches this spot? 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. So 9 minutes it would have lost. So the express train, which is already 10 minutes lagging behind, because of this 9 minutes gain, by the time it reaches this spot, it would be just lagging by 1 minute. And by the time the local train reaches this 13th, this particular equally spaced spot, that 10th minute delay also happens. So basically this 3 stops, this 3 stops, and this 3 stops, and this 1 stop. So these 10 stops would have given extra 10 minutes delay to the local train that is not there in the express train. So by the time the express train reaches here, it is having the same time as the local train. So right now it is tempting to say that this is the spot where the express train will overtake the local train. But let me remind it, the question asked is when will it overtake and not when will they meet. So this is the spot where local train and the express train are going side by side. But the moment it reaches this particular spot, the local train stops for a minute, and in that time the express train will overtake. So until we reach this first 13 parts of the journey, that is 13 into 2, 13 into 3, 39 kilometers. For the first 39 kilometers, local train is the one which is leading. And for the next 3 kilometers, that is until the 39 to 42 kilometers, express train and the local train are going side by side. But from 42nd kilometer onwards, the express train will overtake because the local train is stopping at this particular point. So what is the time taken for the or what distance do you think the overtaking process happening? It is at this 14th stop, not at this 13th stop. So it is how many kilometers from Guntur? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 18 kilometers from Guntur.